Hello everyone, it's Fibonacci, and today we're going to be talking about what needs to happen for $1 Dogecoin. We're going to be talking about what kind of mainstream adoption we need to see, what the developers are going to need to do, and of course, the trading signals in the charts. Let's start with the first one because that's going to be the easiest one to tackle from the list, and that's regarding what kind of mainstream adoption we actually need to see for Dogecoin to go all the way to $1. Well, we need to start seeing companies start to accept it. Today I have news about that. We need to see way more users coming in and starting to use Dogecoin. Well, as the interest begins to climb and it gets listed on more and more exchanges, we will start to see more users coming in. So those two things are already starting to happen. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Newegg is one of the biggest retailers in the world. And guys, look at what they just tweeted. We are now accepting Dogecoin as an official payment method via Bitpay. Simply click edit in the payment section during checkout, select Bitpay and complete your transaction. Happy Doge Day to all. Let's share the good news. As well, I'm putting this video out on 420, which is the day where people are going to try to pump this coin all the way to $1. And I have opinions on that, which I'll share when we get into the charting part of this video. So we see businesses starting to accept Dogecoin. Now I'm going to show you the on-chain metrics, and we can look at the growth in the active Dogecoin addresses. That means how many people are actively using Dogecoin. For that, we have this awesome website called Coin Metrics, and you can select pretty much any cryptocurrency you want. But let's go with Dogecoin here, right here, and if you press download, it's going to download a CSV file, and you can open that either using Google Sheets or Excel. In this case, I've got Google Sheets open here. So let me just filter this out and we'll look at the active addresses. All right, so I filtered out all of the other columns, and we have here the active addresses column versus date, and I've plotted this on a graph, and let's try to get kind of a line of best fit going here, because you see, well, it's very volatile. Here you just had a lot of low period, you have a bunch of spikes here, but you know, the trend is kind of difficult to see. It seems that we have very, very small kind of linear growth here. Let's see what the line of best fit is going to tell us. Let's go through the different trend lines and see if any of them gives us a nice correlation of over 0.9, right? This is 0.082. So we're starting with the linear. We have 0.082. That's an 8.2% correlation, very low. We go to exponential. We have 1.6% correlation. That's nothing. Polynomial, well, that's definitely not going to be it. Logarithmic, 0.081, which is 8.1% correlation. Power series, well, 17% correlation. So the trend line didn't tell us anything. I've plotted now the 100-day moving average. And guys, well, we do see that we do have kind of a slight increase over time, right? There's a lot of volatility here and huge multi-year lows and then multi-year peaks. And then it does seem very, very cyclic, but we do see that the number of users is slowly starting to increase. Let's say the average here was around like 50,000, and then starting from 2018, we started to get like around 75,000, then it dipped, and now we're kind of back at around the 75,000 mark. But we don't see kind of a huge adoption of users all of a sudden. Even if I change this period to a 20-day moving average, well, you see that not much has changed in the line. It's not like this spikes up massively. So we do not have mainstream adoption from many users coming in all at once. But this might not be the best statistic to actually base that on, because many people are trading through exchanges such as Robinhood, and Robinhood will only have one active address where many people are transacting on it. So let's have a look at the total volume of transactions that are happening over time. What I've got for you here is the trading volume over time on a logarithmic scale with as well a moving average of 50 days. So guys, look, as you can see here, between about 2014 to approximately 2017, we had kind of trading volumes in the range of around 4 million, 5 million, 3 million, between 10 and 1 million. After the big pump in 2017, well, our trading volume went all the way up to about 100 million, which is a 20x from, let's say, the average of about 4 million before, right? 4 million to 100 million. That's a 25x, sorry, not a 20x, 25x. And guys, from there, well, we kind of stayed really high even after even after most cryptocurrencies went back down, all the way till about the end of 2019, where finally we kind of saw it go back down and the trading volume evaporate back to around the 10 million mark. But now with the latest pump, we have seen a huge pump. Let's say this is about the 1st of 2021, where the trading volume has just gone absolutely mental from around 10 million, 12 million, 13 million that's this range here, all the way above 10 billion now. Actually, on the 50-day moving average, we're just under the $10 billion in trading volume mark. But if you look here at the latest data points, remember, this is a logarithmic scale. So right about here, we have 100 billion, and currently we're sitting at about $47 billion in trading volume compared to a just 10 million at the start of 2021. Let me say that again. We've gone from a $10 million trading volume, skyrocketed past the 2017-2018 peak here, all the way up to 47 billion. So this is what I meant, that you can't just look at the active addresses. You need to look as well at the amounts that are being traded on Dogecoin. So let's reevaluate part one of, does Dogecoin have mainstream adoption? Well, it has $47 billion worth exchanged through it every single day. That sounds like something that has mainstream adoption to me. Two, are companies starting to accept it? Well, as you see, Newegg is going to start accepting Dogecoin for payment. So also yes. All right, guys, so now we're moving on to part two, which is, what are the developers of Dogecoin doing? The unfortunate answer is pretty much absolutely nothing. For example, Bitcoin still has updates to it every single day. Dogecoin hasn't been updated in a while. There's basically just a skeleton crew there kind of updating it out of their own goodwill. But really, there's absolutely no development happening on Dogecoin right now, which is a problem because as it scales up, well, the needs of the network are going to change. And if it ever wants to achieve mainstream adoption, well, there will need to start to be a developer community starting to form. And that's just simply not there at the moment. So the second that we do see a developer team starting to form, we are well on our way to reaching $1 per Dogecoin. Do I think the first two are enough? Well, guys, think about it. If we're at $47 billion of transactions on Dogecoin every single day, and we have big companies coming out starting to accept Dogecoin as payment, well, it's not really at the adoption rate of Bitcoin yet, is it? But we do see the mainstream adoption starting to come in at its very, very, very initial stages. But would that be alone to get us all the way to $1? It depends. I think it might be enough to spike us to $1, but I don't think it's enough to actually justify the market valuation of Dogecoin, because at $1, I think it would be above $100 billion valuation for a product where there's no developer team behind it, which has limited real world uses. Even though a bunch of people are just trading it back and forth, I don't think it's enough to keep us above $1 just by initial stages of mainstream adoption all on its own, given that there's no development team behind it. And last but not least is point number 3, and let's go to the charts, and I'm going to show you just what kind of levels we'd need to break to actually get us all the way to $1 Dogecoin, as well as some really useful chart indicators to show us what we can expect in the short term for Dogecoin. Now guys, as I was making this video, I found a really interesting thing, which I think would be valuable to share with you guys right now. Well, whenever you have a sporting event or any kind of big event in the world, there's people who have betting platforms out there. So on any kind of sporting match, you can bet on the outcome. You can bet on different things happening in the match. For example, if it's football, like how many goals are going to be scored within XYZ half of the game. Or if it's basketball, how many three-pointers are going to be scored. No matter what you want, you can bet on it. And I just found out that there's actually bets open for when Bitcoin is going to hit $100,000 and how likely Dogecoin is to hit $1. So let's have a look at that right now. So Dogecoin currently has a 5-to-1 odd of being worth more than $1 by the end of 2021. That's a probability of 16.7%. Okay, so Dogecoin to $1, 17% probability. And if we scroll down to Bitcoin to 100,000 has a 47.6% probability of hitting it by the end of this year. And if you keep going further, well, for 200,000, there's approximately 8% chance, and for 1 million, there's a 1.5% chance. So as you see, it's much more likely for Bitcoin to get to 100,000 than for Dogecoin to get to $1. And by the end of April, well, people are betting and they say there's only a 6% chance to reach by the end of April. And this is according to this betting site, usbookies.com. Now, it should be mentioned that these about 17% odds of Dogecoin hitting $1 by the end of 2021 is an improvement from the beginning of this month when it was only at 3%. So that's a big jump in the probability of Dogecoin hitting $1 by the end of 2021. So now last, but certainly not least, guys, if you've stayed this far in the video, please make sure to smash up that like button and get this out to more people, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Let's check out the charts. As you see here, we've had an absolutely exponential rise towards the top. Right here is the beginning of 2021, all the way up where we peaked at around $0.46 per Dogecoin, which gives us a rise of approximately, and I changed it to the log scale, 20,000%. And guys, on the chart, in the short term, if we go all the way back to about the 16th of April, it is currently 420, the 20th of April, we have here a symmetrical triangle forming. And unfortunately, if I move the price target a little bit to the side, you do see that we have broken down below this symmetrical triangle. Well, as always, we take the price target from the bottom of the pattern to the top. This would be taking us all the way down to approximately $0.16. And if we do end up going back into this kind of symmetrical triangle and breaking out towards the top, well, we could as well see a reversal happening. As always, as you get closer to the end of the pattern, fake outs are more likely. So let me just put this around near here where we would break out if we were going to the top. Well, that would take us all the way to about the 0.628 level. And guys, I would say that on the upper level, my kind of price prediction, if we were to go up, would be the 0.618 level, which is exactly the golden ratio. Now, that said, it is more likely that we are breaking down, and I am currently on the 15-minute candles, because if you go to the 4-hourlies and you zoom in, you do see that the symmetrical pattern still holds, but there's been no retest of this bottom trend line. If we go to the 1-hourly, we also don't have a retest of this bottom trend line yet, and even if you go down to about the 15-minute candles, well, you don't see a retest of this bottom trend line. But what you do see on the 15-minute candles, if you look down here at the volume, is that this break towards the bottom is supported by a massive volume stick. So this does give credibility to this breakdown target. Now guys, I don't think we're going directly to this breakdown target of $0.15.5. No, we need to look at the volume profile, because obviously, well, we haven't just broken down violently. We're getting some kind of resistance around this level, and there's very good reasons for that. If I bring up the volume profile, you see here right around these ranges here between approximately the $0.33 mark, and let me grab the mouse here and put this at the bottom, and the 0.28-ish US dollars, we have here a huge level of volume where people are interested in buying Dogecoin. So I would say that it's most likely that we're going to stay in this range for a while. However, guys, if we were to break below this $0.28 level for Dogecoin, that's the time to ring all the alarm bells and kind of take profit off the table, because most likely we will be going down to this very bearish target of approximately $0.18 US dollars. So what would it take for the charts to go to 0.618? Well, you saw that here. If we just break out positively and go back in this symmetrical triangle, we could be seeing price levels of $0.618 US dollars in the very short term. But guys, beyond that, to get to $1 US dollars, we need more kind of bullish patterns to form. And we can, as the last thing, look at the Fibonacci levels. All right, guys, my phone memory is maxed out. My SD card is maxed out. please smash that subscriber count and get me to 130 or even 135 subscribers. Would be absolutely mental. If this video does well and I see 135 subscribers, I'm gonna go to the moon before Dogecoin, and that's a promise, not to the actual moon, but my mindset is going to go to the moon. So that would be absolutely amazing and makes this community the most awesome community. And guys, lastly on the charts, I'm going to show you the Fibonacci retracement levels to show you kind of where we would need to break through to get all the way to $1. Alright guys, I've got 2 minutes of recording time left, so let's grab these Fibonacci retracement levels from kind of the high that we hit all the way down to the new low, and we see here that the 1.618 level, which is also very significant, is around the 0.59 US dollars. And as I said guys, if we were to break up, we would be getting right around here, which will be about the 0.618 US dollars. That was our positive price target. As you can see, if I bring this line up towards the top, approximately around here, the 0.618 levels would be where I would be targeting towards the top. But after that, we would need another pattern break to take us above this 2 times Fibonacci retracement level, then one more bullish pattern to take us into this kind of pocket here between the 2.418 and the 2.618, where we would stay for a while, and then another massive pump to take us above the 3 and the 3.27 Fibonacci retracement levels, which would be around the 0.69 US dollar marks. And then, only then, if we were to go all the way up to the 3.618 Fibonacci retracement levels, would we be above the $1 pattern. I would say that's going to take us at least one pattern to get into this level, breaking strongly towards the upside, and then we would need to see another massive pump to get towards to the $1 mark. So we need 2 absolutely insane pumps still this bull cycle to get to $1. And I think guys that we have kind of extracted the most that we can out of Dogecoin, at least for this quarter, unless we see Bitcoin absolutely skyrocket to like $80,000. Well then, if that would probably be the first pump we see here, and if Bitcoin would go all the way to $100,000, well, at that point, I do see $1 Dogecoin being quite likely. And as we saw on the betting page, well, Bitcoin has a 47% chance-ish of getting to $100,000, and Dogecoin has a 17% chance of getting to $1. And with all that said, you guys, the sun is currently about to set outside, and you now know what it will take to get Dogecoin all the way to $1. We need 2 massive bull runs towards the top still, and we need the developer team to come back for the long-term fundamental support of Dogecoin, because I do think right now we have kind of maxed out on the mainstream adoption that we can expect from Dogecoin within a reasonable amount of time. $47 billion of trading volume and a little bit of mainstream adoption by companies that are saying they're going to start to accept Dogecoin for payment. So if you got smarter with me today and I've earned it, please smash that subscribe button. If we can get, as I said earlier, to 130 subscribers or to 135 subscribers, I'm gonna be so over the moon, guys. And as you know, we are all moon boys here in the crypto community, going for those 100x's, going for those 1000x's. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you hopefully in the next one. Bye.